Hey guys, it's Kyle again, doing Kyle's Keto Corner, because Keto Kyle, there's like 4 or 5 others of those, so I tried to come up with something different. But anyways, today I got for you, I want to do a video over my kale shake that I consume on a regular basis. It's a great source of potassium, and it's a cruciferous vegetable that has a phytonutrient in it called DIM. It's got a longer name. You don't really need to know that. But there's really good things to it. It's a inflammation balancing phytonutrient. Phytonutrient just means it's a nutrient that comes from a plant, but it's not our typical vitamin or mineral that we think of as in like a vitamin A, B, C, or a minerals in like sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, that kind of thing. The reason I like to do this kale shake is because it has potassium in it, it's got magnesium in it, it has the calcium in it, and it does have sodium in it. Sorry, I started to blink there for a second. But before we get to the shake, I wanted to give you guys some information on potassium in general. When you're doing a ketogenic diet, potassium is a vital nutrient because one of the common things when doing keto that people complain about are muscle cramps. And one of the most common causes of muscle cramps is low minerals in your system. Especially because keto will naturally make you go to the bathroom more, so you're going to be excreting a lot of your minerals out, so you need to make sure you're consuming a lot more of your minerals to make sure that your body has what it needs to function properly. The way I kind of think about it is a factory functions properly when it has all the materials it needs to make its product. Well, you are your own product, and so building your body with the essentials is vitamins and minerals. And so I compiled some information here that I want to read off to you. So common sources of potassium. One of the most common ones people think of are bananas. And when you're doing a ketogenic diet, bananas are a terrible option to get your potassium sources from. First off, in a small banana, your net carbs are going to be about 22 grams. 16 grams of that is sugar. And sugar is something we want to avoid like the plague when we're doing a ketogenic diet. Besides that, you're only getting about 400 milligrams of potassium in one banana, and it's just really not worth it with your net carbs and the sugar being so high to get that 400 grams of potassium, because your daily recommended is 4,700 milligrams of potassium, and so you'd have to eat like 11 bananas just to come close to doing that. And if you're going to do that, you're going to completely blow your net carbs for the day, you're going to blow your sugar out of proportion, and you're just not going to be in ketosis at the end of it. So bananas are just not a great source. Great sources of potassium, usually your dark leafy green vegetables are pretty high in potassium, like kale, broccoli, bok choy, spinach, stuff like that. Other things would be Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, broccoli. These are also vegetables known as cruciferous, which contain that powerful phytonutrient DIM that will really help with the inflammation. And that's why, like I said, I like to use the kale, and well, in this case, it'd be baby spinach and baby kale. The flavor's a little better, in my opinion. The kale's kind of bitter. So, that's why I like to do this. And another great source, avocado. Now, avocado, when you're doing a ketogenic diet, is a great food to consume because avocado, depending on the size, can have anywhere from 700 to 900 milligrams of potassium in one avocado. But the other thing you're getting is a great source of healthy fat, and that's that monosaturated fat. And your body's going to use that to help produce the ketones that you need for your energy source for ketosis. Also, avocados have about a 2-gram net carb rating. So avocados are great for keto. Another one that I found, that this one kind of surprised me when I was doing my research, wild salmon. Wild salmon, depending on the size, can have anywhere from 500 milligrams to 1,300 milligrams, depending on how big and how much salmon you're eating, and it needs to be wild. I don't want to get into the farm raised salmon right now, but it's just really bad. You would want to stay away from farm raised and make sure it's wild caught. The other thing with wild salmon is you're getting a great source of omega-3 fatty acids, as much as 3.4 grams of omega-3 fatty acids, so that's a great source. Great overall food to be consuming when you're on a ketogenic diet. Also found that zucchini and yellow squash, something I also like to cut up and eat. You can have around 500 milligrams per medium-sized zucchini and yellow squash. And their net carb rating is only around 5 grams. So that's not too bad when doing a ketogenic diet. Dr. Berg, one of my good influences, he says you want to keep your net carbs between 20 and 50, depending on how much weight you're trying to lose and how much fat you're trying to cut out or cut off your body and burn. So that's another good source. So today's kale shake that I will get to here in just a little bit, I want to read off some of the nutrition facts that I just got right off the bag. First off, it's organic, and very important to be eating organic. I'm probably going to do a separate video on why we want to do organic versus regular. But just know that basically there's no pesticides used. It's a very clean process, very natural process. And to get organic on your food source, it goes through a lot of testing. And so, but today, just to help you kind of figure out, what you're consuming if you're kind of lost. But I do an entire bag of the organic baby spinach and baby kale. So on the back it said serving size was 85 grams. And on the front it said that the bag size was 375 grams. So little basic divisions, I found that I was getting about 4.4 servings per bag. And as far as this pertains to the potassium portion in the focus here today, I'm consuming approximately 1,760 milligrams of potassium per bag when I do these kale shakes. And that comes out to be right around 37% of what you need to consume for a daily total. Now where I get my other potassium is where, like I said, I'll eat zucchini and squash. I mean, that's not an everyday thing, but that's definitely in my diet on a regular basis. But the regular thing I do is a scramble, and that'll be another video I do on the scramble. Where I eat a lot of broccoli and cauliflower. And again, those are cruciferous vegetables with the dim in there, and they also contain potassium. So, I know that might be a lot of information thrown at you, but it's a lot of good quality information. And so, to help maybe absorb it, maybe you need to go back and rewatch the beginning part of this video. But now I really want to get to the kale shake portion and get that going. Oh, I thought I could pause here. I guess I can't. All right, so here we are. Continuous live stream because I use my cell phone, and that's how this is going so far. So, and I guess I can't switch to the front camera. So, it's going to be me. So, here we go. Gotta love the beginnings here. All right, so this is my bag of spinach that I use. In this, I'm going to use just a simple measuring cup. I like to put a half a cup of organic lemon juice, and then I will fill that up to the 1 cup mark with water. And I will do a total of 3 cups of liquid. So that's half a cup of lemon juice and then 2.5 cups of water to get my total of 3 cups of liquid. Another thing I like to do is organic turmeric. The lighting's not the greatest in here. I do about a 1/4 teaspoon of this in my kale shake. It adds a nice spice flavor. Not spicy, but just kind of spices in general. But it also good anti-inflammatory properties that I like to have. Also, I like to add a half teaspoon of the pink Himalayan salt. and that's because there's a really good mineral profile with the pink Himalayan salt, and that sodium that I was talking about, part of your minerals, that's really good to have in there. And then I also like to use this better stevia. Stevia is a great sweetener. There's absolutely no insulin response to stevia. Very, very sweet, very, very powerful and concentrated in the liquid form, so you only want to use a little bit. I don't have an exact measurement, but I would say I use anywhere from maybe 5 or 10 drops for the entire shake. And this shake is going to roughly give you around 35 ounces, give or take. I mean, I don't know the exact ounces this kale shake represents, but I like it. All these things. Oh, and the other thing I do is chia seed. Also, for the omega-3 fatty acids, I will do 4 tablespoons. So what I'll do is I'll put the liquid in, I'll put the entire bag in, I also add my 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric and my 1/2 teaspoon of the pink Himalayan sea salt, and then that's where I'll add my 5 to 10 drops of the stevia. On my blender, I have a setting that blends for about 3 minutes, and I will do 3 of those. So it blends for about 9 to 10 minutes to get it real good consistency, smooth. And then I'll add in the chia seed, and that chia seed helps thicken it, and it'll soak up some of that excess water so you don't think you're drinking so much water or liquid with this. But some people really struggle with the kale shake. They don't like the taste. They're used to having, sweet things all the time. And this is something where even when I started doing kale shakes, and I did it with straight kale at the beginning, very bitter, hard to taste. I mean, it smelled like grass clippings. As my dad commonly says, looks and smells like what comes out of the southbound end of a northbound cow. And that tells you my southern Indiana heritage right there. So it was tough to push through, but after a while, it really gets easier. And you really feel good. And like now, commonly, if I'm starting to feel bad or feel low energy, I make one of these, and I commonly say, it's almost like a flower perking up when you water it. I mean, that's how I feel when I consume this thing, because there's such great nutrition in here. Lots of great things going on with this kale shake, and I do it commonly. I used to do 2 every day. I've kind of gotten away from that, but I'm in more of a maintaining phase rather than a losing phase. But when I was losing, I was adamant about this, because when you're transitioning, that's also important to make sure you're getting your minerals and stuff, because if you're losing a lot of weight, odds are you're losing a lot of fluid, a lot of body water weight, and so you're going to be excreting a lot of minerals, and this is a great way to replenish those. So I thought I had a little more control over my phone where I could pause and continue the video. But like I said, continuous shot the whole time because it's on my cell phone. So I'm going to go ahead and make this and consume this, and you're not going to get to see the final product necessarily. But again, I would recommend these all the time, honestly. Make it a regular part of your diet, almost a staple, if you would. It's a wonderful thing. So hope you guys got a lot of good information today. I hope I've explained how to make this kale shake well, even though I haven't really demonstrated how to make it. Any questions, leave them in the comments. I plan to get to all my comments and hopefully respond, because I'm a pretty small channel right now, so it should be practical to do that. But again, if you like the information I'm giving you, you like the content I'm giving you, like my videos, subscribe, watch future videos. Be right here at Kyle's Keto Corner with more good things to come. Thanks for watching, guys.